Like fucking, we did picograms for like 3 or 4 weeks, and then now we're back to picograms and shit. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. We're the Keeper Warriors, presented by UpTheWarriors.com. My name's Eddie Law. That's Jesse Rubakawa. That's Fred Kirby. We were just talking about fucking picograms again. John Jones has been cleared, licensed for 1 fight in Las Vegas, right? Did you guys watch any of that presser? Or not presser, that whole boring ass fucking meeting?
Nope.
Hell no.
Don't watch none of that shit.
You guys are lucky. I've been stuck in an office for like the last week, so I got to watch that bullshit, and it was excruciatingly fucking boring.
What happened? Pornhub was down or something?
Right? No, yeah, Pornhub went down. But Pornhub went down, bro. That's what happened. I ran out of tissues. Anyway, but regardless, like they went on and on and on about, how, who had jurisdiction and shit. USADA fucked up, by the way. Like, from what I understood, USADA fucked up and didn't inform CSAC about the failed or the abnormal tests or whatever from between, I think, August and September of 2018. So Andy Foster claims that he did not know about those failed tests. Otherwise, he says they would not have licensed Jones for that fight in California. Sounds to me like the UFC said, hey, USADA, how about chilling the fuck out with telling him anything, and let this fight go down. We'll figure it out afterwards. Fucking Bennett and the other dude, Marnell just leaned into the USADA guy like heavy. But I mean, look, we got John Jones. I'm going to UFC 235. I'm not mad at it. All right, so what are you gonna do?
But the thing is, you have to understand that it's also the responsibility of California's commission to ask for every kind of possible, any kind of thing that they might have, to kind of just cover themselves, right?
Right.
And I think it shows a little bit of a lack of not like of foresight, but just like of planning on, California's commission, Andy Foster, even though he's a great guy and he understands a lot of this stuff, not being made aware and not actually trying to get as much information as possible, before he makes a decision. That really is going to, we talked about it before, right? If John Jones, pops again and all this stuff, and if we find out that he's been cheating the whole time, that it's just going to look really, really bad on him, in the long run. And, Eddie, by the way, they came in separate cars. They're just leaving right now. I'm watching the wannabe Tony Robbins.
Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt what I was saying, Fred, but earlier I was at, cause I'm at Starbucks here all the time, but there's this guy like literally berating his, like, I don't know, 7-8-year-old little daughter, telling her, that she has white privilege and she should be doing better at tennis and all this stuff. Is hilarious. Anyway,
Jesus Christ, what a fucking dick! Fuck him and tennis.
Yeah, he was leading into his daughter about how like white privilege and shit. Anyway, but
hey, you know what? Hold on, stop the fucking podcast for a minute. Let me tell you something, Jack. Listen, as a white fucking privileged man, I will acknowledge that white privilege is a real thing.
Right.
Now, do I think you need to be coming down on your fucking little 8-year-old white little broad about her not being good at tennis because of her fucking white privilege? Sit down and shut the fuck up, man. Go eat a hot dog and lay off your fucking kid, you shitbird ass.
Yeah, that makes sense. But now, I mean, it makes sense that they're in different separate cars. That guy's probably going after his apartment.
She's white. What do you want from her? It's soccer. The little brown kids are better. What do you want?
Plus, what made it even better is like, in public, they're berating her about being better. Like I was telling Eddie, he was like explaining to her how she has the opportunity because she's white and that these little Asian little girls, it's hilarious. It's just hilarious.
Yeah, it got really weird from what Jesse was saying. It got really fucking weird. But
interesting.
Anyway, John Jones. So John Jones, UFC 235, Fred.
Listen, what are we talking about here? What do we do? Who gives a shit? Like, is anybody surprised about any of this shit anymore? I mean, honestly, like, are we at all surprised when an athletic commission does something that garners them a bunch of money? Like, who's surprised at any? Of course, John Jones going John Jones, right? Yep. Short of that dude fucking shooting goddamn horse testosterone right into his anaconda snake, ain't nothing gonna happen. Like these picograms, all this bullshit, like they're gonna fucking figure out a way for that dude to fight because he generates millions of dollars. That's just
but is that long and short. Is that a bad thing, Fred? I mean, if we want to do a clean sport, quote unquote, I mean, what are we really doing here? Do we want a clean sport at this point, or do we just want the illusion of a clean sport? Kind of like Bellator, right?
Listen,
Bellator doesn't have these problems. You don't hear people popping over at Bellator. Why? Because they just do commission testing. That's it. And like they don't have a problem with any of that. And you know, most of us enjoy some of the antics going on over there.
yeah, but on the same token, I feel like people say that, but on the same token, man, there's something to be said about at least attempting to police the sport in the UFC. I
Right.
fucking get a little annoyed with all the MMA hipsters out there that just give it to the UFC constantly. Why don't y'all stop fucking being such hate? They're fucking trying. Even you too, Luke Thomas. Stop being such a fucking hater. They're trying. What are you gonna do? Listen, is USADA probably a little sneaky? Sure. The whole fucking world is, man. Everybody with a little bit of power abuses it. But are motherfuckers that are cheating getting caught? Yes. And is that a good thing? Yeah, man, it is.
Yeah.
If you're the guy in there that's not cheating, that's losing fights because this other fucking prick is cheating, then yeah. For the people that get wrongly accused, like fucking Tim Means or Lyoto Machida,
Yep.
that is a problem, and it does need to be addressed. But no, man, you know, Bellator's cute because it's fucking Bellator. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
Bellator's like your fucking retarded cousin that does good in the fucking basketball game. He did good, but we're not holding him to the same standards.
Right.
Like
Right.
Bellator is cute for being Bellator. If we were holding Bellator to UFC standards, which I know we wouldn't, but like in an alternate universe, if we was doing that, we would be pissing all over Bellator.
Like
Their
crazy.
last card was like 3 fights, basically. The rest of the fucking fights were who's and what's. Like, I mean, just real talk. It's not the same ballpark. So no, I don't think that's what we ultimately want. Quite frankly, I think MMA fans are a bunch of crybabies. Like we cry either way. If they took USADA out of the sport tomorrow, make no mistake about it, everybody would start bitching that there
Of
were
course.
cheaters running rampant everywhere,
Of
that
course.
everybody was getting caught. Now you're gonna Chad Mendez and the whole most of them are blowing back. I mean, you know what I mean? Like you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. Nothing's going to be perfect. At least they're catching some people. And here's another fucking reality check for all the losers out there. Some people are special, and the rules get bent for them.
Mhm.
Sorry. John Jones is one of those people. It is fucking what it is. I mean, is it
Right.
fair? Absolutely not. Is it just the way that shit's going to go down? Yeah. I mean, Floyd Mayweather was fucking beating up women, and Nevada's still fucking bent to his will because he's worth like a bill.
Postponed. What was it? Him going to jail just so he could fight.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah. Yeah.
so
Yeah.
like at the end of the day, man, it really boils down to the same old bullshit, man. It's all about the money. John Jones is a hell of a name. They're going to bend the fuck. Short of completely breaking the rules for him, they're going to bend the fuck out of him to see him, you know, get to generate the income. And you know, to your original fucking question, Jesse. Yes, it's a problem. Like we need to keep USADA. It is what it is. Like just because they're bending for John Jones, don't mean we should throw the fucking baby out with the bathwater.
There was a part in Jones' part of the whole fucking meeting where they were talking about we need to figure out how many picograms he's allowed to be, like what range of picograms he's allowed to be in for his next few fights. And I'm sitting there going like, wait a minute, what? Because the whole pulsating thing, I'm like, so if he pulsates or pulsing whatever the fuck, and it goes over a certain number, you're suspending him. Like the whole thing's confusing as fuck.
It is because it shows their lack of knowledge on the situation. Because what was it? If you go back and read, God, what's that guy's name that did the whole report, the actual testing on himself, the guy from Icarus. Remember his name?
Shit, the Russian.
Yeah, the Russian guy. Well, anyway, he's the one that did this whole, the only study that's out there about this whole thing. And if you go look at that study, those numbers range super like wildly.
Yeah.
One day, one test they're like, under a couple picograms, and then next day it's like over like 1,000 or something. Like it ranges so much. So them saying that they want to set a limit, I mean, don't you guys kind of think that this is like TRT all over again, where it's like, well, okay, like we get it. We'll just give you an exemption, but you can't test over this much. And then we're gonna get a Vitor, probably Vitor is over there knocking at the door of USADA, like, wait, how many picograms can I test for? All right, I'm ready to go.
Man, Vitor can snort all the picograms he wants. His funny old ass ain't doing nothing.
Real quick, let me catch him with some comments here. Shout out to MMA Gods. What's up, dude? Jeremiah hanging out from the Hardcore MMA show. What up, dude? Baba Booey, what's up? Raiders here. QC's here.
Jeremiah, I want some of that. I want some of that beef jerky he's got.
Who?
Jeremiah.
Oh, he's got beef jerky?
That's deer jerky.
Deer jerky.
Deer jerky.
Hell yeah.
He makes it. Oh, yeah. Shit. All right. Hey, man. Yeah.
It's either that or I want to go visit him so I could go hunting with him.
I seriously want to go hunting like sometime. I need to learn that shit. I really don't know anything about hunting, but I want to go.
That'd make a good fucking show. Y'all take me. Let me come hunting with you and Jeremiah. That'd be real fucking fun. I'd be a goddamn princess out there in the mud.
Yeah, I'd be like, what in the fuck?
Fred with his man bun, skinny jeans, and Yeezys out in the woods. That'd be great.
Hey guys, come on. We have to go this way. I can't fuck up my fucking off-whites, man.
Hey, listen, let me tell you something, bro. If I actually got a deer, you motherfuckers would never hear the end of it.
Right. All right. Frederick says all lies. There's no lack of knowledge, for fuck's sake. Talking about the steroids and stuff. They know it is all selective.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. Like life ain't fair, dog, and they're gonna bend for John Jones. Like I said, short of him like testing through the roof for some crazy shit, they're gonna do what they're gonna do. This whole one fight thing, it ain't gonna be one fight, dog. They're gonna make it work, like one way or the
other. They painted themselves into a corner right now, because let's say John Jones tests higher than what they're gonna say. How are they gonna paint themselves out of that corner? Plus the fact that, let's say, John Jones, in a year or something, test for some sort of other substance, but they're like, oh no, it's smaller than a picogram, but it's all related to that first test because now our testing is so good. Like, where's it going to end? You know what I'm saying? Like Fred said, they might try to bend the rules for John Jones. How far are they willing to bend it?
Tell you what, if I was Anthony Smith, I'd be getting me a chemist and being like, check it out, Jack. I want some picograms. I want the exact amount of picograms that motherfucker's got, because if he's allowed to compete with those picograms, beam me up, Scotty.
But remember, it's because he tested for those picograms before and already got suspended.
Yeah, fair enough. The old metabolites or whatever.
Yeah.
That's why I don't even like talking about this shit. What am I, a fucking chemist? I'm a fucking goofy fight fan, man. This fucking fine. If we're gonna let him fight. It's enough with the picograms. It is what it is. Like, you know what I mean?
All right, Fred. So moving forward here, John Jones and his legacy, both you and Eddie, what do you guys think? Is this going to taint his legacy? Let's say he rips off 10 wins in a row here, defends his lightweight title, goes up to heavyweight, gets the heavyweight title, reigns supreme. Is all this going to make his legacy any different?
It depends on if he tests positive again. Right. Like, if they keep it in this little goofy picogram thing where we're at now, I mean, what are you going to do, right? If they keep letting him compete and he keeps beating fools, like, nah, no. I mean, he needs to test positive for something again for me to completely throw him out at this point. I mean, I've tried to throw him away a couple times, but they keep letting the motherfucker come back. So if they're going to let him come back, I suppose I just got to deal with it. Yeah. I suppose at this fucking point, as long as he just stays within the picogram level, whatever the fuck that means, yeah, I'll just deal with it. But I'll tell you another thing, too. These fucking Anthony Smith fights, you can give them back to the Indians, okay? I'm not fucking excited for this fight. I don't give a shit about this fight. He needs to move up to heavyweight, or, like, this is not – I don't want to get off in the weeds here on this fight, but, like, does anybody give two shits about this fight?
Anthony Smith, John Jones?
Huh?
Anthony Smith, John Jones?
Yeah.
I do.
It's not a huge deal, really.
I'll tell you why, Fred.
Yeah, please tell me why, Jesus.
Right. It's the same argument that I have for why the TJ DJ fight should have happened and how this Cejudo TJ fight shouldn't have happened, because I feel like there's people in your division that you can compete against, and as long as you snuff them out like DJ had done, and you have no one else around in that division that can actually say that they have a 2-fight win streak, then at least you can say, okay, he cleaned out the division. Now let's see him move up. John Jones is back, right? And I feel like there are a couple people that have strung together some win streaks at 205 and could, present interesting, at least lead ups. I'm not saying interesting challenge or an interesting fight, but something different to the division, because you don't want your champion to move up and be gone with the division. Then you leave a division in shambles, kind of like what happened with Conor and 145. He got to the title, got it, left. And, then they had to pick up the pieces, and who became the champion again? Jose Aldo, who had gotten beat for the title. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just kind of creates this weird vacuum once the champion moves up. So I want to see him defend at least once or twice, and then he can do whatever he wants. Once he cleans out the division again, there's no other guy that can put up his hand and go, hey, I have 2 fights in a row. I could get in there too. Okay, give him a shot, watch him get destroyed, and then, eventually John Jones can do whatever he wants. But I want title defenses in the division. I'm tired of this champ thing.
Nope. No. All that was horrible, Jesse. All that was bad. And I'm going to explain to you why. From the very beginning, your fucking thesis is trash. Comparing anything to what DJ did, let me tell you something. You know what happened at the fucking last fucking division that DJ was in control of? It goddamn went the way of the dodo bird. Okay? What DJ was doing is not a productive way to keep fucking things in check. This fight with Anthony Smith is a horrible idea. And I'll tell you why. Do you know why this fucking fight with Anthony Smith is a horrible idea, boys?
Let me guess, because there's a chance that he could lose?
You betcha. Yep. You betcha. Because anything can happen in MMA. And if Anthony Smith does have the fucking best day of his life, and he closes his little eyes, and he happens to land that fucking lucky shot that knocks John Jones out, it won't mean shit. But it won't mean that he is a better fighter than John Jones. It will just mean that he caught John Jones. Fred, shit happens.
But isn't that what you love about this sport?
Yeah, listen, to a degree.
No. This is what you love about this sport. This is why I like also football. Because any given Sunday, any given time, you can have a competitor come in and upset the champion.
No, goddamn it, but the team that was fucking 0-3 don't get to play for the Super Bowl, you shitbird. This is the point. John Jones is fucking up here. John Jones should never take a fight with Anthony Smith.
Oh my God.
It's a horrible. Is somebody at the dentist?
No, you're good. I don't know what the fuck that was. I heard it too. It's so weird.
No, it's a very bad, risky fight for John. What the fuck could John Jones possibly do to Anthony Smith where we give him any kind of credit?
Kill him?
Yeah, he'd almost have to do that. And even then, we'd be like, well, listen, we all knew he should have been in there. He couldn't even hack it at middleweight. Like, it's a bad. It's also a misusage of John's star power. John Jones, do you guys realize that damn dude should be like bigger than anybody in the sport right now? Like,
but why isn't he, Fred? Why isn't he? Because he made choices and he was out of the sport for what now? Now it's been 2 years, basically, a year and a half.
Yeah,
of his own doing. So look, I understand what you're saying, Fred, but he also has to reintroduce himself to these new fans. Now we have new fans coming into the sport again because of this new ESPN deal. And I think if he goes in and destroys some foods, even if they're tomato cans, even if they don't deserve, but they have a 2-3 fight win streak in the division, you can at least prop them up. And then highlights of John Jones beating the hell out of number 2, 3, 4, 5, top competitors in a division. Hey, now he's going to move up to heavyweight. We all know what the deal is.
Listen.
But it's these casual fans. Remember, you're talking the new ESPN deal and the business that we're in right now of the UFC. They're trying to get those Stephen A. Smith fans, those guys that think they know what they're talking about and they're just yelling at their TV. Well, just punch them in the face. Those are the guys they're trying to get into it. So if you have a couple highlights of John Jones elbowing the hell out of, Anthony Smith and then, 2 other guys, he elbows the hell out of these guys into oblivion. You've got these great highlights now that you can call in these fans.
That reminds me of that one video where the guy goes, grab his dick and twist it. You seen that shit?
Yeah.
Twist that dick. Yo, Dick Twist is a fucking funny shit.
We're gonna end this off on this. I'm gonna end it by saying, this is how we're gonna end this. For me, this is my opinion on this fight. Okay, 2 fights ago, or 1 fight ago, I guess, 2 fights ago, John Jones fought DC, right?
Yep.
Okay, and then his next fight was Alexander Gustafsson, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Okay. Simply put, you do not fight DC and then Gus and then Anthony fucking Smith. All due respect, you're falling off a major cliff there. And when you win, when you beat DC and Gus in a row, you most certainly the fuck do not fight Anthony Smith next. It's not the way shit works. All due respect to Anthony Smith, John Jones needs to go to heavyweight. Anthony Smith can fight Gus or fucking Glover. I don't know. Somebody else, but like this is weirdy beardy. And I mean, I get what you're saying, Jesse, but we have those highlights. Pull out the old highlight of him fucking smashing Brandon Vera's skull or choking Lee. I mean, we got the highlight reel for days. John Jones is the fucking king. All we need to be worried about is his picograms. This Anthony fucking Smith business is weird to me. I understand what you're saying, and obviously the UFC is doing it for that reason. They just want to keep it going and keep him active. But for me, it's like I hope Anthony Smith don't land that lucky punch and just ruin everything, because it could happen.
But this is the sad thing about it, Fred. And I agree with you. Look, I agree with you in the end. I'm just trying to play devil's advocate of like what the UFC has in mind. And we both understand that what they have in mind is the Stephen A. Smith fan. The guy that's just, dumb, basically. Okay? But you also have to think, the only person that gets a title shot is someone who's on a winning streak. And the sad thing is, if you look at his record, what's his name? Smith's record, he's on a 3-fight win streak. All right? That's as best as they could come up with. And his last loss was to Thiago Santos.
Yep.
I mean, he has 2 losses in the UFC, I think 7 wins in the UFC. So he's 7-3 or 7-2 in the UFC. So, I mean, it's not like he's got an amazing record or anything. But like I said, I'm pretty sure that this is the highlight that we're going to keep watching over and over again as they hype up the John Jones DC at heavyweight. John Jones, like, just utterly obliterating Anthony Smith, and, Rogan screaming, oh, as he's, getting obliterated and talking about how he's the best ever.
Or Anthony Smith catching Jones in that lucky-ass uppercut, dropping him, and Rogan dying on the mic. Oh, my God! And just passing out.
That's what I would be worried about is, I mean, with this fight, it's like that's your worst case scenario. That dude actually fucking pulls it off.
But is it the worst case scenario, guys?
Yeah.
Fucking absolutely, dude. Are you fucking crazy?
How is it the worst case scenario?
Because look, for 205? For Jones specifically.
For the UFC. What the fuck? Let me tell you this. Everybody thought that it was the worst thing ever if somebody beat DJ, right? And it hasn't been, because now you have now you have Cejudo as a guy who did something that DJ never did, beat TJ, and now you have Cejudo on the cusp of actually being a star, right?
Man,
so
no.
Listen, now you have fresh matchups at the division that you can make. You have a division that got shaken up. All right. The same thing with 205. The king comes back, he has his crown. He gets dethroned. Now you have something that you can look at like, okay, well, let's have a rematch and see if it was a fluke. You know what I'm saying? It's something to at least keep the division going. How stale is 205 right now? It's super stale. Can you name at least 4 competitors that you can say for the next year we can map out John Jones's trajectory of defending his title at 205?
No.
But you see what I mean? If he were to lose to Anthony Smith, at least now you have a trajectory where like John Jones now has to come back, win his title, become dominant again. You see what I'm saying? There's a shakeup. You want that.
Here's the thing. So to me, I'm not hating on my heart, nothing like that, right? Like I'm going to the fight. I'm going to the event, hoping that we get an upset just because I would love to see that live, right? But like Lionheart not beating John Jones like Uriah Hall beating Gegard Mousasi. Like, none of us thought it would ever fucking happen. And we knew if they run it back, like, Uriah Hall was dead. And he was.
Shit. That would be like motherfucking goddamn it, Holly Holm knocking out Ronda. Like, this would be fucking Matt Serra GSP, dog. you guys listen. No disrespect to Anthony Smith. Who has he beaten other than Ozdemir? He beat fucking what? Shogun and Rashad?
Couple old dudes, yeah.
Rashad and who could he couldn't even hack it at middleweight. I mean, look, I feel like Anthony Smith is one of these guys that is a powerful, talented striker, right? And a guy like that at MMA can win any fight. You know what I mean?
Fred, he's the Darren Till the division. He's a guy that they saw an opportunity. He had a couple semi names under his belt, and at least you can throw him at the champion and build something up around the champ, right? That's what the UFC was trying to do.
I guess that seems cheap though, dog. Like,
yeah,
it is.
Here's the thing: he's the number one contender. That's kind of where we're at. You know what I mean?
Even though he's ranked number 3 on their rankings.
Who's number 2? Who's number 2 and 1?
Like probably DC and Gus or some goofy shit like that.
Yeah, probably Gus and somebody else. I didn't look at the rest. I just saw that he was number 3.
All right, well, it's probably DC and Gus. But
all right, either way, whatever. We've been in the woods on that too much. Yeah.
Right.
I don't love the fight, but we're gonna watch it anyway. So it is.
All right. Yeah, Jeremiah says, talking about the hunting thing. He goes, I could put you guys on it. We'd have to record that shit on the hunting. And then as far as picograms go, MMA God says the science will always be ahead of the policy. Very true. What else we got? He also says number 1 contenders need to get the shot. Can't blame the sport for a lack of talent. Raider says, I still get the glory of Jones being dead on the mat. If fucking what's his name pulls it off, she really hates Jones. But
listen, I'm all for that. Just not at the hands of Anthony Smith. I don't want to see the torch go there. If DC got that knockout, yeah, my dick would be harder than fucking iron wood. But I don't want to see Anthony Smith get it because then it just feels weird. It feels not right. Like,
hey, real quick, you want to have a quick laugh? So here's how they break it down on the rankings. Number 1, DC. Number 2, Gustafsson. 3, Anthony Smith. And then you go Jan Blachowicz, Ozdemir, Corey Anderson, and then Thiago Santos at what is it? Oh, they have 2 people tied for number 6, which is Corey Anderson and Thiago Santos.
Oh, Jesus. You know what, fucking Jones, move up when Kane snuffs fucking Ngannou, fight Kane. Anyway. All right. Jeremiah says, I don't give a fuck if Jones is fighting Artem Lobov, who, by the way, just got released by the UFC. He goes, I don't give a fuck if Jones is fighting Artem Lobov. I'm watching. Good point. Talk about the little guys. Raider says, no one give a fuck about those little guys, though. It's true. And then, remember, God says Corey Anderson next in line, unfortunately, after this fight.
Are we fucking serious right now? Jesus fucking.
No. Listen. That's who they're gonna throw in there as far as like who Jones hasn't fucking already beaten.
This is what I mean, though. Like can we please send Jones the heavyweight after this and stop?
I'm with you.
Out. Like, I mean, Jesus Christ.
But
I thought he should have gone straight to fucking heavyweight. Honestly, I don't know why we're fucking around light heavy, but I thought no, fuck that. Strike with iron's hot before DC goes home.
But don't you think it's also a good middle finger from Jones to not move up to heavyweight and to make DC cut down to him? Because he knows that's a good advantage for John Jones.
Sure. But Jones is the one that wants to be champ next. He wants to be like the best man. So come on.
And either way, who cares, right? DC's looking at a fight with Brock Lesnar or a rematch with Stipe. So if DC beats Stipe again and John Jones beats fucking 25-8 and goddamn fucking Lionheart in the process. I mean, whose stock will rise and whose will fall? You know what? This is what I'm saying. Like at a certain point, John Jones don't need to be fighting these guys. Now, if John Jones had moved up to heavyweight and fucking destroyed Ngannou or Overeem or take your name in the top 10, fucking Derek Lewis, my balls is hot. John Jones goes up and fucking monkey dunks him and chokes the shit out of him. It's a whole different fucking ball of wax, Jack. But like at 205 right now, John Jones needs to fucking jump off that boat. For all of me, Gustafsson was his last piece of business at 205.
Yep, and 205 is about to be kind of irrelevant soon.
Now, what could be compelling is if Jones went to heavyweight for a year or two and Anthony Smith rattled off 3 more knockouts. Then we might be having a different discussion. You know what I mean? Like if let that division figure itself out a little bit. I'm not saying it wouldn't be interesting to see John Jones fight at 205 again at some point in the future, but right now it's like, what the fuck?
But that's also what I mean, Fred. Like, imagine a new guy at the top and John Jones, either going to heavyweight and trying to get that title, or just kind of grinding down, those top 5 guys to get another title shot. at least it livens up the whole situation there at 205. Because like we just read the rankings. Do you care about any of those guys fighting for a title right now?
No, that's what I mean. Like, no, not none. That's what I'm saying, dog. John Jones should go to heavyweight and let 205 sort itself out. Like, there's nothing for John Jones at 205. And then if he does lose a heavyweight, fine, send him back to 205. But for now,
and the other thing you got to also put into consideration that Javier Mendez also mentioned that DC might extend his little retirement thing, past for a couple more fights.
So, he will.
I honestly hope not. I mean, there's plenty of fight left in DC, but I'm just kind of like, I don't want to see him getting like snuffed by Jones again. But all right,
right, exactly. We all prefer him to just give Jones the middle finger and say bye.
Raider says Overeem versus Jones. I'm in love. That'd be interesting. But it'd be rough since they both train in the same gym.
Did we get Ubereem though for that?
That would be awesome. Fuck it.
We better give him something.
Take the night off. Take the night off there, Usada. All right. Real quick on the because it's not a big fucking deal, but I think so. Okay, Conor McGregor got fined. What was it, 50 grand and just suspended 6 months, which
I thought it was it 50 grand? I thought it was
it's 50 grand, but 50 grand and suspended 6 months. Realistically, it's gonna be like 3, right? He'll be available in April, end of April, something like that. Habib got suspended 9 months. It's gonna be about 6. Or less if he does an anti-bullying video, which I would tell him to go fuck themselves. But they also fined him $500,000. They fined him $500,000. I find that to be a ridiculous amount to fine that guy.
That's a percentage of his purse, though, right? That's why it's that much.
He got $2 million. They took $500,000 of it.
What does that break down percentage-wise?
I don't know. Math? I don't know.
Wow.
Fred, if you're talking, I can't hear you, man.
Uh-oh.
Fred
went dead.
Did you mute yourself? I can't hear you for shit, dude.
What'd you say? He got fined $500,000?
$500,000. Fined $500,000, suspended 9 months. Nope. Still not working. All right. All right. So $500,000, 9 months suspension. I think it's bullshit. I don't. It sucks though, right? Because that flying, drop it like an eagle on top of Dylan Dennis costing $500,000. That's some bullshit. Frederick says they should take the $500K from Khabib Bilabov and make a light heavyweight tournament open to all. Okay, those are all great for the top of the QC. Okay. Oh, they're talking about DC, Brock, Steve, and John. All right, you there, Jesse?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right, quiet. And make sure you didn't drop too. All right, so. What are your thoughts on? First of all, I've heard a little bit of rumblings of people saying McGregor got off easy. Do you agree with that?
No, not really. Because if you go back and look at everything that happened, even though our, what is it? A proper 12 correspondent over here is here at the moment. Yeah. He really did not have a lot to do with that fight. It was him getting basically attacked in the octagon, and he did defend himself. He did kind of, go a little overboard. But in the excitement of all that, you just don't know what's popping off, basically, and everything, all his actions, you could understand what he was doing. You know, it's Khabib who definitely did what was incorrect, which was, literally jumping over the cage, eagle, trying to eagle swipe somebody in the crowd. So yeah. To me, it makes perfect sense. I would definitely want to know if it was just like they were taking a percentage of his purse, and that's why it came out to that much for Khabib's sake. But I mean, he doesn't care about the money, right? And his whole thing now is that he just is not going to fight in Nevada anymore. So
not only that, he also said that he's not going to fight until his what's it called until his buddies get they got fined like $25,000 each and suspended for a year each.
Right.
He's like, I'm not fighting until they're not suspended anymore. I'm like, Khabib, cut the shit. Now they're talking about stripping him and shit. I'm like, what the fuck are we doing? Like,
I mean, think about it. Like, are they really gonna do that for him? I could see.
We still can't hear you, dude. What the fuck?
Oh my god.
Is it your microphone? Do you have a microphone tagged in there? Something might be up with your microphone. Nothing, dude. What the fuck? Hold up, let me see.
Even I can't hear Fred, so
that's what I'm saying. Like
usually when you can't hear him, sometimes I can hear him.
Right, look, when he comes back, I'm gonna see if maybe the volume controls got fucked up. Anyway,
look, the honest thing is that I think that what's gonna end up happening here is they're gonna make a deal with Khabib where he goes and does this anti-bullying thing. They reduce the sentence on his people, and then we get Khabib back within a couple months here.
Right. So they're gonna do my name's Habib. Instead of flying like an eagle and fucking people up, just talk your problems out. Like, no. That dude shouldn't do that shit at all.
You're right, he shouldn't. But I mean, if he want it, I think if they pay him enough to kind of make all this go away, and they waive some money and some potential, something in front of him, right. I think that's it.
Okay. We still can't hear you, dude. I don't know if you're talking. Yeah, I don't know what the fuck's going on. That's weird. Like I'm looking at the volume controls here, and there's nothing I could do on it. I mean, everything's normal on our side. So I don't know. Yeah, maybe I don't know. Restart your computer. I don't know. All right, and then anyway. So real quick on the YouTube comments. Now we're trying to figure out. This is what happens on this show, ladies and gentlemen. We don't fuck around. We don't give a fuck about our fourth walls. We just talk. All right. Randa says, dude, is it just me or is it strange to have a fighter do anti-bullying ads? Exactly.
No, not really. Because look,
I think it's weird as fuck.
What were we all talking about earlier about our kids, getting into jiu-jitsu?
Right. Okay.
Like a confidence thing and stuff like that.
Right. But it's like yeah, I'm gonna take an anti-bullying message from the guy that jumped out of a fucking cage and went eagle flying on somebody's ass.
Right, but I mean, you also have to understand what he was doing it for. It was because of the disrespect that he had felt and all that stuff.
Well, it's actually real quick. We're talking about. Let's take it to that point. I don't know if you heard about this. I know you didn't watch the meeting, but I did, and I was, I was doing work and shit. And I was listening to this whole thing, and what caught my ear immediately, and I immediately got my attention. They were talking about possibly punishing pre-fight shit talk. Okay, because they were talking about how McGregor got this dude lit up. I mean, you remember that was the end of the third or something like that, where McGregor goes, it's only business, and Habib kept fucking him up, saying like, talk now, now we talk. And I'm like, ooh.
Even though how what was it? Connor put out that he wasn't saying that. He said something like, stop bitching or something like that. He was trying to cover it up, saying, no, that's not what I said.
Hey, look, Connor, man, we got you on video, dog. I saved that shit because I was laughing when it happened. Like. For real, I had to save them on my fucking on my camera roll because I thought it was funny as hell. I'm like, all right, I show it to my friends. I'm like, here's what happens: you talk too much shit, and your ass can't fucking cash that check.
What do you think though? Do you think that people should be liable for all that, or do you think?
No, I don't like this whole punishing. Because it's almost like punishing free speech, right? I'm totally against any kind of. Like even for example, even when Twitter and Facebook and even YouTube, they all banned Alex Jones. I thought that was bad. I still do think that's bullshit. Like he might be a fucking asshole, he might be crazy and said a bunch of nutty ass shit like Sandy Hook was a fucking false flag, nothing ever happened and shit like that. Fair enough, but you can't take away his right to say it. It's fucked up. So in terms of fighting, like the pre-fight shit talks entertainment. It's literally what McGregor is best at. It's what people watch him for. Nobody watches. They do press conferences, right? These pre-fight pressers. They're doing one on Thursday. Tomorrow. They're doing tomorrow for 235 to announce ticket sales and all that shit. Okay. They're doing that. And I'm sitting here going, why the fuck are we still doing this shit? What's the point? There's no point. It's cringy. They had Darren Till and Masvidal going off today asking for the Wi-Fi passwords and shit. It was fucking awkward at best. All right. But when you get a guy like Chael Sonnen, like Conor McGregor, even Nate Diaz at points would be funny, right? Like you're playing touch foot with the dork in the park. It was like fucking funny as hell. Right. Michael Bisping doing his George St. Pierre impression, which by the way is fucking hysterical.
He was drunk on that.
As he was drunk as fuck. I'm like, legend.
You're drunk. He's like, of course, it's Vegas.
Yeah. What do you think? Wait, do you know what we are? Right? Like, no, but here, my point though is it's like you can't. That's part of the entertainment. That's gonna. I mean, it's not gonna kill pay-per-view sales and shit like that. You can still get that shit talking other ways, social media, other interviews, whatever. But I think taking that away would just not help the pay-per-view at all. And I think the UFC is gonna push back on that. And you're punishing free speech. Chill the fuck out with that shit. They're grown fucking men. Okay, they are very skilled at a violent art form, but they're grown fucking men. Come on.
Yeah, you know what? I totally agree with you. I think the bad thing about it is that I think in the climate that we're in right now, a lot of people are afraid of it being political.
Right.
You know, because you understand, and I think if you watch a lot of the thing that what's his name, Zadim, is it Zadim?
Yeah, Kareem Zadim, something like that.
Right. You watch a lot of the stuff that he was tweeting out ahead of the Conor Khabib fight. You know, his big fear was the stuff that Conor was bringing up with, you know, Kadyrov.
Kareem Zidane. Go ahead.
Yeah, there you go. You know, just a lot of the stuff that he was Conor was poking at with the whole Kadyrov stuff, you know, the dictatorship, his dad, you know, the really political stuff. And I think that is something that we have to look at because of the implications of how people can be so zealous about, you know, their country, their religion, stuff like that, right? You can have real dumb, zealous people do very dumb things when they're incited by words. Because you're right, a martial artist knows and can control his body, his mind, because they're mentally strong and they're trained for this stuff. You know, that's why boxers, you know, they stand in front of each other, they talk a lot of smack. You know, what's his name? Mayweather, he was one of the best at it, right?
Yeah.
He would just tear people down, you know, verbally, even though he couldn't read, but you know, he knew how to verbally, you know, abuse somebody and make them angry and get them to, you know, react. Conor's good at that. But I think that the whole political aspect of the stuff is what's getting people afraid. And I agree with you. It shouldn't be something where you have to tell somebody you can't say this, we're going to penalize you. But I also think that some of these fighters have to understand that you can't dig deep and try to hit them in those areas because that's real sensitive. And it's not because of the opponent that might get upset. It's some, you know, some other idiot, you know, that takes too much offense to that and could do some sort of harm because of what you said. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, I mean, I don't know. Like, would it bother you if, let's say, Conor said some bullshit about, let's say, I don't know, whoever he's fighting next, okay? He says something fucking kind of crazy and they find him for it. Wouldn't bother you?
Yeah, it would.
Yeah. Okay. Like, yeah, dude. I don't know. I don't agree with any.
Come on,
even like, huh?
Mike Tyson said he was gonna eat what's his name's children.
Who said that? Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson said that. Yeah.
You
I'm gonna fuck you. He said I'm gonna fuck you like my bitch to somebody too.
Yeah. But again,
God, that dude's a fucking maniac.
all the smack talk that most of these guys are known for was directed at the person. It wasn't about their country. It wasn't about the religion. You know?
I got you. So Conor kind of took it a little further.
Exactly, and I think that's what everybody's afraid of inciting. You know, because Khabib's, you know, some of his the people that follow his religion can be kind of zealous and, you know, can do things that just would not be good for everybody else. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to single out like the whole, you know, Muslim country and stuff like that. But I'm saying there are people that take that very seriously. You know?
Yeah, I got you. And clearly Khabib did. Clearly. Although I did enjoy that. I enjoy how Conor says Ali Abdelaziz and like went after his ass. I was okay with that. I was like, fuck yeah, get that dirty motherfucker. But anyway, QC says Khabib should charge him $500K to appear in the anti-bullying video. MMA God says if he's capable of fighting, about Khabib. If he's capable of fighting and doesn't, I agree with stripping him. Make Tony versus Dustin for the real belt. I'd be okay with that fight. QC wants to see Khabib and Ben Askren at 165 in Madison Square Garden. I would love to see that. And then he says they should have a code of conduct. NFL, Major League Baseball, NHL, and NBA players and coaches and owners all can get fined for what they say. True, but they're also employees of those leagues. Well, not the owners, but although they have an agreement. But I know like the players and coaches and shit, technically employees, right, of those leagues.
Right. But they're under contract.
Right.
Yeah.
Like if you can put on the contract, if you want to, you can put on the contract. Hey, don't be talking too much shit. I guess I get that. Raider says, hell yeah, Bisping was my favorite at pressers. Fucking yeah, I enjoyed his shit talk for real. MMA God says Conor was way too dark this past fight. Keep politics and race out of it.
Yeah.
Anthony Davis got fined $50K for asking for a trade. Yeah, but that's his rules. Like, just like they're gonna try and get LA for the tampering shit. Yeah. They should get Coach Pop for tampering. What the fuck? Raider says, yeah, but QC, those sports have athletes associations that work with the leagues. Remember not too long ago where everyone was up in arms about we need a fighters union, we need a fighters union.
It's too much of a selfish sport for that.
Exactly. I'm just telling you, you need the big dogs, and the big dogs are getting paid like big dogs, and they're not going to do shit until they're all done.
Well, remember
at that point, you're going to have more big dogs. What's up?
Remember what happened with Cowboy when he showed up to that presser, and then Dana White was like, "Hey, Cowboy, come talk to me," and then out of nowhere, Cowboy's like, "Nah, I ain't part of that. I was just hanging with a buddy, and he told me to come."
Yeah, right. I mean, but it's I don't know what's going to take to make a fighters union, but it's going to have to be a hell of a lot more than it is right now. All right. What else we got?
You want to talk Bellator?
Bellator, sure. Let's talk Bellator. So 3 fights that went down, obviously. Let's talk about.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a whole card, but Fred was right. It's a handful of names. One that I was curious about was AJ Agazarm. Or Agazarm. I used to call him AJ.
Yeah, just call him AJ.
Because he's a fucking tool. But
he got a
Agazarm,
right?
He lost a split decision.
Oh, right? A split decision. Okay.
He lost a split decision. I watched the replay of the fight, and oh my God, this guy needs to get back in the gym. You would think hanging out with Nick Diaz all the time, he would be able to throw some hands. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, maybe.
You would think he'd be able to throw hands. He can't throw shit.
Just because you associate with certain people doesn't mean you're going to be great at,
Right, but you would think he'd be training with him or something, right? But he can do shit. And then that one part where he was like a little kid throwing a fit, sticking his chin out like that. I'm like, oh, hit him. Fucking hit him. And nope. But and then AJ spun it, I think on Twitter. I saw it earlier today or something like all the champions lose. I just got mine out of the way. Okay. Anyway, so he loses. The other fight was the fucking Jack. What's his name?
Jack Swagger.
Jack Swagger. What was his real name? Jake Hager.
Oh, Jake Swagger.
No, it's Jake Hager or something like that. Whatever. Would you call him Jack Swagger?
Yeah, I think I did, but I think it's
right.
Jack Swagger.
Okay, whatever. There's that guy, Swagger. Wins this fight by submission. He's super happy. He's like, "Oh, look, I won." I'm like sitting here going, "You beat a fat guy, awesome!" But he gets up and does this. We the people. Is that a fucking wrestling shtick? Because it seemed like it.
You know what? I didn't even know who he was. No,
really? Okay. Okay. I'm gonna look him up right now because I think that We the People shit is some like WWE stuff. But he belted it out. He looked at this at the camera and screamed it with his hand on his chest. We the people! Like fucking 15 times after the fight. I'm like, bro, stop. Oh shit. So Fred's out for the night. So sorry, ladies and gentlemen, if you came to watch Fred, he gone for the night.
Yeah. So anyway, somebody knows of a company that is
fixes microphones.
Keen to giving Fred a microphone.
Yeah.
We wouldn't be mad at you.
Yeah, no, for sure.
You know what? Honestly, he beat up a tomato can. That's what Bellator does best. Move on.
Yeah. Anyway, so he won, and then the other fight that we want to talk about, Aaron Pico fucks up, stays way too close to that dude, eats a bunch of uppercuts, is knocked the fuck out. Were you shocked at that ending?
No.
Really? You think Corrales had a Corrales, right?
Yeah, Corrales.
Yeah. You thought he was like he had a good shot at that fight? I thought Aaron Pico was gonna fuck him up. By the way, we haven't seen Aaron Pico wrestle for shit. But anyway, continue.
No, but I thought that eventually his style was gonna catch up to him again because he didn't learn the first time.
Right.
And so it did shock me that he lost in that manner, but it also didn't because what's the thing everybody says, you live by the sword, you die by the sword.
Right.
He has that really high pressure, really in your face style. And that style relies on your chin. And if your chin gets touched and you go down, I mean, there's not much you can do, man. Okay, for all the crap I put on Brendan Schaub, he said the most concise thing on the podcast when they were watching it. He said that fighting the way that Pico does nullifies all the work that they do in camp, because now he's giving the guy basically a 50-50 shot at winning the fight instead of doing what best. And it's probably the smartest thing Brendan has said in a long time. Ever. But I don't listen to a lot of the stuff that he has said recently, so I don't know. He might have other gems, but it was by far. Oh my goodness, what happened?
All right, sorry about that. You there?
Yeah, what happened?
Oh, we turned into a pumpkin.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, that's what happens. Like either Google Hangouts starts being a dick or something. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, I'm with you on the whole Aaron Pico thing. It did nullify all that work, like Brendan Schaub said. But MMA guy says, "Oh no, we lost them all." No, I hope we're back. If we're not back, if we're back, say something on the chat, because now I gotta catch up and make sure. But yeah, I don't know. I was shocked about the Aaron Pico thing. I thought for sure Pico would have, started using his wrestling by now, but he didn't. So anyway, what's up?
What did you think about the 33 second knockout of Feuder in the main event?
I was upset that he got knocked out by a jab. Like, fair enough. He threw his whole fucking side and shit, and it was a hard shot. Basically, what you want to do with that is get so much length that counter punch is going to take a while to get to you, right? And he just fucking landed it, and just Fedor just moved. See ya. First punch that Bader throws knocks him out.
Do you think it's time for Fedor to hang it up?
I think it's been time, dude. I think it's been time. Who knows what Bellator's paying him? It was one of those things like if you're a quarterback in the NFL, right? You're a star quarterback getting paid million. You're gonna pay me, $30 million this year to play. Y'all do that. You're not, I think who makes this bit? I think Joe Rogan made this bit. He goes, you get a little older, you're no longer good enough to be a starting quarterback, but you could be a backup. How much does that pay? Like $3 or $4 million a year. Y'all do that. You know what I mean? Not good enough to be a backup, but you could be on the practice squad for about $500,000 a year. Okay, I'll do that. You know what I mean? Like
quarterback coach,
paying the man. Yeah, right. But they're still paying that man.
Yeah. Do you think? But the era of Fedor being a champion or being a top heavyweight in Bellator is over, and do you think maybe it's time for more just the basically he's gonna be the one that brings in the attention, and then you have something above him or some major thing, right? Do you think it's about time for that?
Yeah, dude. No, just walk away, Fedor, before you fuck up your legacy. You know what I mean? Maybe give him a good going away fight. Like
him against who?
Him against Chael again. I don't know what the fuck. Give him another going away fight that makes him look good, and he can step away. Head held high on a fucking W. But he made Ryan. I mean, okay, sure, okay. Fedor got caught, but now everyone's talking about Ryan Bader being really good. Bellator's first champion, and this shit. And I'm sitting here going nah, Bader's good, but he's not that good, right?
Yeah. That's like saying David Branch was the best fighter ever when he was a 3-belt holder over at
PFL, whatever.
Yeah. We see how good he is over here at UFC, right? It just hasn't worked out for him too well. I'm
sure the guy that goes over at King of the Cage holding 4 belts is pretty solid, but put him in the UFC, he gets mauled by the last ranked fighter, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, but MMA guy says all these old school heavyweights are on the way out, unfortunately. Yep, pretty much.
Are you changing the subject? Are you excited for what is it? Is it EBI that's having
CJJ Combat Jiu-Jitsu?
Yeah.
I think it's on its own thing, Combat Jiu-Jitsu. But fuck yeah, I'm excited. God damn, you got Verdun, Gordon Ryan, Who else jumped on that? Is fucking other heavyweight, UFC heavyweight. Oh fuck, roided like once, got caught way back in the day. I can see his face.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about, Mr. Magic the Gathering.
Yeah, what's his fucking name?
Oh man, I forget his name.
Anyway, fucking
strong.
It's gonna kill me. Someone's. Oh, here it is. Well, I'm looking at his face and I can't fucking remember his name.
Josh Barnett.
Barnett, thank you, Barnett. Jesus Christ.
Oh my god.
I'm so out of it, dude. Anyway, so yeah, Combat Jiu-Jitsu Fight Night, February 22nd. It is on Fight Pass.
Yep.
And it was going to be pay-per-view. Now it's just if you got Fight Pass, you got it. So fuck yeah, I'm be watching that. Actually, I'll be in California, so I'm gonna have to rush to the hotel to watch that. But yeah. Anyway, so I'm excited as fuck about that, dude. Gordon Ryan's been talking a lot of shit, so you know people want to either want to see him lose or want to see him fucking own it, like own him.
I think it'll be pretty interesting to watch him, you know, because you see how Gordon Ryan's taking the baby steps into MMA, right? Like
he's trying to, like, but at least he's being honest about it, though. Like he's like, I'm not ready yet, but you know.
Yeah, you don't want the Aaron Pico version of that, right? Where he dominates his sport and then just jumps straight into it. I mean, he's got a good mentor in what's his name?
John Danaher.
John Danaher, right? That guy's very smart.
Danaher's smart dude to do that with. He's got Henzo there with him. He's got what's his name? Gary Tonin, who has a lot of MMA experience now. And then of course George St. Pierre trains over there. Like he's got a wealth of knowledge to take from. I think he'll be solid pretty soon. I don't know if he'll be the best ever like he wants to be, but you know, he's young. He might get there.
Right.
I just hope, you know, hopefully he's clean though. You know what I'm saying? No Pico grants for Gordon Ryan, hopefully. I tweeted out.
You're the one that said that, right? The whole like if they test BJJ people, like
I tweeted out today. I said, you know, if they tested, you know, some of these jiu-jitsu guys, if they did PD testing in jiu-jitsu, like how many of these guys would pop? I know the answer, a fucking ton, right? Like a ton. There's even dudes in the lower ranks, okay, that you give them the eye test and they fail it miserably. Then you roll with them and you're like, oh my god, you're stronger than I thought you were. What the fuck, right?
Yeah.
So, you know, and I mean, even a couple local guys from here, like, yo, bro, come on now. Come on, dude. Fuck out of here with that bullshit.
My favorite is when you watch, like, you know, 56-year-old guy that's, like, has abs and is, like, strong as hell. You know,
I know a couple.
And you're like, wow. Yeah, you're totally natural. Yeah.
I know a couple, but they're not trying to be like, they're not trying to go to ADCC, though, or anything. So at least they're like, staying local, right?
Yeah.
But some of these dudes are crazy. MMA God says Tito or Chael next is a joke. Fuck it. Give Fredo one of those guys. He'll knock either one out, and he could go off with his, you know, on a W. Hopefully, you going to LFA on Friday in Phoenix? LFA on Friday. I can't. Unfortunately, I am. Busy. How do I say this? I'm a single guardian this week, so I can't take days off, unfortunately. But I will be watching, I believe. I think I'll be watching that night. I'm not sure. What else we got? What are you gonna say?
No. Just and what was it? I don't know if you heard. If you're a boxing head, Gervonta Davis's opponent fell out today. And,
no way. Isn't that fight pretty soon?
February something.
Yeah, it's pretty soon.
I guess they got a replacement. I'm pulling up the email right now.
Okay.
Because for some reason, Mayweather Promotions has me on their email list.
Sure. Really?
Yeah.
There you
go. Hugo Reese.
Fair enough.
Some dude from Sinaloa, I believe. So.
Well, hey, look, pay that man his money. He's gonna earn it getting his ass beat by fucking Davis.
Yeah, Devontae's a beast, man.
Yeah. All right, let's quickly go through this weekend's event. It's all on ESPN+. Saturday, kicking off at 3 p.m. I think my time, so that makes it 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Eastern time. So all in ESPN+. You got names in the I lost the page. You got names in the prelims like Junior Albini's in there, Thiago Alves against Max Griffin's in there, Marcus Perez against Anthony Hernandez, and then the main card has Johnny Walker's in there against Justin Ledet. Charles Oliveira against David Timur in a low-key fucking baller-ass fight. Damian Maia takes on Lyman Good. Jose Aldo against Renato Moicano in the co-main because Jose was like, I don't want no 5-round fight. Fuck all that. Give me that 3-round fight. And then Rafael Sunsao taking on Marlon Moraes part 2 in what's more than likely a title eliminator.
Right.
Pretty sick fucking card this weekend. Give me your pick for the main and co-main.
So it's Marlon Moraes against
Rafael Sunsao.
Sunsao. Oh,
and then Jose Aldo against Renato Moicano. I'll give you my picks first. Then I think Jose wins, and I got Marlon winning.
Damn.
I like Marlon Moraes. So
I really love Marlon. He's a down to earth dude, and you know that dude deserves a shot, man. He deserves a shot.
Hell yeah! I want him to get that TJ fight. Fucking before they do that rematch with Cejudo. Fuck all that.
Yeah, seriously. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Moraes, and
cool.
Man, that Jose Aldo fight is just so scary for me because we just don't know what Jose we're gonna get, right? Because Jose has been talking about retirement.
Right.
It just seems like his heart's not in it to be a champion. And you know, what was it? His recent interview, he said he wants 3 more fights in Brazil and then retire.
Call it a night, yeah.
So man, you know what? Screw it. I think Jose Aldo at home, he's gonna put on a show for the fans. I think we're gonna see vintage Jose.
Yeah, I think Moicano will get probably one of the better Jose Aldos we got in the last couple of years. All right. I'm gonna do a real quick last check of the headlines here. What's up?
What else is on that main event? Because you know we got to pick it for our wager here.
Oh fuck! We have to do those picks off later then because I actually have to run.
Okay.
But just like last quick check of the headlines. Apparently Connor was like cool with the fine suspension. I bet he is. $50K. The fuck. What else we got? Nothing crazy, really. Nathaniel Wood against Jose Quinones to UFC London. That card ended up getting pretty good now.
Yeah. Oh, here you go, real quick. You got Damian Maia, Lyman Good, Charles Oliveira, David Timur, Johnny Walker, Justin Ledet, and
Souza.
Olivia Renata Souza, Sarah Froda. So, okay.
Okay, so yeah, we'll make our picks off here because Fred's not here. And then we'll put him down so we can do our thing. Anyway, all right, folks. Yeah, we lost Fred for a little bit, unfortunately, so the show was kind of a little shorter than normal. But if nothing else, you got anything else, Jesse, before we go?
Nah, man. Just hoping we get some good fights this weekend, right? And then go Rams.
There you go. Super Bowl's got picking the Rams. I'm not making a pick. I don't care. I just want chaos. I want a good fucking game. That's what I want. Anyway, all right, folks. You can follow Kirby at Kirby_MMA. You can follow Jesse at SWAT1983. Follow me at Eli31. The show is at Keyboard MMA. Shout out to everyone that hung out with us tonight. Raider, MMA Gods, QC was here for a while. I appreciate you coming through, man. Frederick, Jeremiah was here for a minute. Who else we got? I know I had somebody else in here that didn't fucking Baba Booey, whoever that is. Fucking anyway, you guys are the shit. We appreciate you guys so damn much. You have no idea. SpicyPros.com. Get yourself some of that good shit for your barbecues and all that. You got I think today or tomorrow is the last day to use Keyboard MMA for 10% off. So use that shit. And then represent ripthewarriors.com. They have a couple new drops this week. Some actually pretty sick shirts. So go check it out. And I think they're restocking that camo hat they were asking me about. Somebody asked me about a camo hat, camouflage, and it's like the represent flag in the front. That's nice. A sick fucking hat. I might actually go order one of those, but they get that back in stock. So go to repthewarriors.com or use some of that shit. All right. For myself, Fred Kirby, Jason Rukawa, you guys are the shit. Love you guys. Catch you guys later. Good night, Wilshire.